Swims at the Reebok gym, tone your frame up and sugar and spice. The only thing, can't tell between the cops and the robbers. They both partners, they all heartless. I earned what they said I wouldn't, I got it the way they said I couldn't. I don't play games, so I don't play, I hate y'all. Get it straight and get the up my face, dog. My hobby said, shine your light on the world.
Hey, love, you ever vibed to Miss Fat Booty and thought, Mos Def is that guy? Yeah.
Shocked to sell, she couldn't get it together. I just played along and pretended I never met her.
It had you feeling like you were right there in the club, watching Shorty work her magic. But hold up, what if I told you the legendary Conscious King himself got banned from the US? Wild, right? Well, grab your tea or something stronger, 'cause we're about to break down how one of hip-hop's most respected voices ended up on the no-entry list.
I'm type polite, but now I'm looking at it skeptically.
With a career that had him sitting pretty as one of the most respected lyricists in hip-hop, to an unexpected exit that left fans confused, Mos Def, now known as Yasin Bey, has always moved differently. But before we spill all the tea on his legendary rise, his industry frustrations, the mysterious way he ghosted the rap game, and why he got banned from the US and South Africa, let's take it back to where it all started. Dante Terrell Smith, a.k.a. Mos Def, a.k.a. the lyrical genius who wasn't about that industry life,
Raw style synergy, recognize symmetry, come try to injure me.
was born on December 11th, 1973, in Brooklyn, New York. And if you know anything about Brooklyn, then you already know this man was raised in the trenches, where survival wasn't just a skill, it was a requirement.
Yeah, I mean, we grew up in tense environments, but there's so much beauty in life every day.
Before Mos Def was dropping conscious bars and poetic flows, music was already in his bloodstream. It wasn't something he stumbled into, it was destiny. His father, Abdulrahman Smith, was a musician. But the first song that truly hit his soul, Reasons, by Earth, Wind and Fire.
I'm in the wrong place to be real.
Mos Def, barely out of diapers, tried to sing along, and his mom, Sharon Smith, was his first fan, hyping him up like, "Sing the song, baby."
I used to try to sing it, and my mother would be like, you know, just kind of...
Let's put on that Earth, Wind and Fire record.
Yeah. Sing the song, baby. Sing it. Remember you were singing it?
Sometimes he wasn't feeling it, but that same voice would one day rock stadiums. Then came church choir life. Before world tours, he was touring churches in Harlem and Queens, feeling the energy of a crowd.
Like, you know, singing in the choir, we would go on these tours to, like, you know, area churches when we'd be in Harlem, when we'd be in Queens. We'd really be like these kids on a tour bus.
However, the first rap song he ever heard was It's Like That by Run DMC.
The first hip-hop song I remember hearing was It's Like That.
Late 70s on Bronx Street, Mos Def is a little kid walking with his mom and brother when suddenly this crazy new sound pours from above them. They all stop, listen, take it in. Mos Def didn't say anything, he just felt it, that deep, unspoken connection to hip-hop. Mos Def wasn't your typical kid growing up. Life at home wasn't always smooth sailing. By the time he was a teen, he had 12 siblings, a whole lot of responsibilities, and dreams bigger than Brooklyn itself. And you know what they say? The biggest stars usually come from the toughest backgrounds. While most people first met Mos Def through his undeniable rap skills, what many don't know is that acting was actually his first love. He was already booking TV gigs left and right, appearing in shows like The Cosby Mysteries.
Got a large combo here, 2 iced teas and a Coke. It's $29.95. No.
My Wife and Kids, before he became a rap star.
You know, I don't know how I got along eating by myself all this time. Obviously, you can see how helpless I've become.
Like I was acting professionally before I was doing music professionally. I was, doing off-Broadway plays when I was a teenager.
By the early 90s, he wasn't just a fan, he was in the game. He formed Urban Thermodynamics, UTD, a rap trio featuring his younger brother DCQ and his sister CES. Their debut album, Manifest Destiny, was recorded in 1994. Do what you gotta do. If you can see it, you can be it. But got shelved due to label issues. It didn't officially drop until 2004, long after Mos had already made a name for himself. Because of that, UTD never got the mainstream shine they might have deserved. However, the group wasn't a complete loss. It gave Mos Def his first real taste of the industry, sharpening his skills before launching his solo career. He partnered up with Talib Kweli during the mid-90s, and the duo was Black Star, a group that left hip-hop fans in awe of how rap had gotten so materialistic.
So like literally has songs like Close the Crack House Down.
Their first album, Mos Def and Talib Kweli Are Black Star, was released in 1998, and that was it. Mos was hip-hop messiah, with songs like Definition and Respiration.
As the holes in the night till she bless sunshine. Breathe in and hail vapors from bright stars and shine.
He wasn't just making music, he was teaching a whole generation. No flashy cars, no gimmicks, just raw talent and real talk. And the people loved it.
Reached out for it, and the response was a little bit surprising because it's like it feels like you're in a dead-end industry with the music industry because people tell you.
Then came 1999. Mos Def hit the world with his first solo album, Black on Both Sides. And baby, did he deliver? With hits like Ms. Fat Booty and Umi Says, Mos had officially arrived. Critics were hyping him up as the future of conscious rap, and fans were eating up every word. But see, here's where things get a little shaky. While everyone else was celebrating his success, Mos was side-eyeing the industry. He wasn't about that do whatever for a hit life, and he sure as hell wasn't interested in selling out for mainstream appeal. The industry wanted him to be the next Jay-Z or Nas, but Mos, he wanted to be free.
And the way that I'm expected to behave as an artist for certain audiences,
Just when people thought Mos was about to become the new face of hip-hop, he flipped the script and jumped into acting full-time. And not on no corny rapper-turned-actor tip. This man was booked and busy. He bodied roles in most movies, but movies like Something the Lord Made in 2004.
What about you going to medical school?
You don't have to remind me of that, Clara. We have a family now.
And The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in 2005.
Nobody think, no ideas, no theories, no nothing.
Showed his creative side. But while he was out collecting movie checks, fans started noticing something. His music was disappearing. And then, just like that, Mos Def was gone. In 2011, Mos Def made a shocking announcement. He was done with the name Mos Def. From that point on, he was to be called Yassine Bey.
Whatever reports that you have heard that I'm returning to the name Mos Def are false.
And trust, he wasn't just changing his name, he was changing his entire outlook on the game. He started taking a step back from the game, not dropping music as frequently, and spending most of his time overseas. The craziest time of Mos Def's career was in 2016, when he was banned from South Africa. So here's what went down. Mos Def was in South Africa, but when he tried to leave in January of 2016, officials were like, "You ain't going nowhere." Why? Because he was using a world passport, a document issued by the World Service Authority, a non-profit that believes in a world without borders, which, let's be real, most governments don't even recognize.
I invite people to research the World Service Authority, the World Passport, its history, its origins, and it's all there.
Mos got arrested on the spot, accused of using an illegal travel document and overstaying his visa. To make matters worse, they hit him with the undesirable person label, meaning he was permanently banned from coming back. Meanwhile, after getting detained in South Africa, things got so messy that his tour got canceled, and before you knew it, word on the street was that he was banned from returning to the U.S. too. Now, this is where things get shady. Some folks were like, a U.S. citizen can't be banned from their own country. Others believed it because Mos has never been one to follow the rules. He's always been anti-establishment, anti-system, and ready to challenge the norm. So it wasn't too far-fetched to think the government might have made an example out of him. At the end of the day, we might never know the full truth. What we do know is, Mos said he's from Africa. He identifies with Africa, and he's got family there.
Well, I'm from here, actually. And why not? I feel good here.
Yeah.
I have many friends.
Dude was released on bail and was supposed to stand trial, but before things got too messy, he apologized for breaking immigration laws. By November 22nd, 2016, they finally let him leave. But the message was clear. South Africa doesn't want Mos anymore. After the whole situation, Mos went on a rant talking about how borders, passports, and governments control people. Then out of nowhere, a voice recording popped up on Kanye West's website where Mos made it crystal clear he was out. In the recording, he said he was retiring from the music recording industry as it is currently assembled, and that he was also leaving Hollywood behind.
You don't get to tell me what to do with what I make.
Yasin Bey, a.k.a. Mos Def, might be a hip-hop legend, but when it comes to his personal life, things have been just as messy as they are mysterious. Mos Def was married to Maria Yepes, and they had 2 daughters together. Sounds all good, right? Wrong. Their split turned into a full-blown child support battle. Let's rewind to 2006. Mos' ex-wife, Maria Yepes, put him on blast for allegedly falling behind on $10,000 child support for their 2 daughters. Now, Mos didn't try to play dumb. He straight up admitted he was struggling to keep up with the court-ordered payments. But his excuse? His money wasn't as long as people thought. And listen, that hit different. 'Cause let's be real. People hear rapper and assume money, cars, and endless cash flow. But Mos Def was never out here flexing like that. He wasn't rapping about mansions and Maybachs. He was spitting about social issues and Black empowerment. So when he said he was financially tapped out, some folks actually believed him. But the courts? They weren't hearing it. By 2014, his name was back in the headlines for the same issue. Reports surfaced that he still wasn't keeping up with the payments. Did Mos Def mean to dodge his kids? Probably not. But between industry struggles, legal drama, and his whole anti-establishment mindset, it's clear the system caught up with him in ways he didn't expect. Turns out, Mos Def is a father of 6 with 4 different women, and one of his daughters is already making moves in the rap game.
When you're talking shit, it goes up and down, round and round.
Meet Layla, a rising rapper who had fans speculating for months about whether she was really Mos Def's daughter. And in a complex interview, she finally set the record straight, agreeing to the fact Mos Def is her dad.
Is Mos Def your dad? Is there any relationship between you and Mos Def, since it seems that's the most asked thing?
Yes, he is my dad, y'all.
Now, while one of his kids is chasing the mic, another baby mama is chasing the bag. In 2023, Karima Sorrell, the mother of one of Mos Def's kids, took him to court, claiming he owed $88,602.63 in unpaid child support. And she wasn't playing. She even tried to snatch his earnings from Erykah Badu's Unfollow Me tour, where he was a supporting act. So while Mos was out rocking stages, Karima was plotting to secure the check. In one of his most shocking moments, Mos Def went full activist mode to protest the U.S. government's treatment of prisoners at Guantanamo Bay. In 2013, he participated in a force-feeding demonstration, a brutal procedure used on hunger-striking prisoners. In a video, Mos is strapped to a chair, force-fed through his nose and visibly struggling. The footage was hard to watch, and many respected him for bringing awareness to human rights abuses. Now, Mos Def ain't the type to go full-on rap beef, but if you listen closely, he's definitely thrown some sneaky shots at Drake. In 2014, Mos Def called Drake a pop artist, not a hip-hop artist. He even said Drake's music is compatible with shopping in Target.
So it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping.
Drake replied by calling Mos Def a crackhead. The truth is, Drake and Mos represent two different eras. Mos Def built his legacy on conscious rap and deep lyricism, while Drake made his mark by blurring the lines between rap, R&B, and pop. To Drake, hits and awards might be his focus. So what's up Mos Def currently? After years of floating between continents and dodging the mainstream spotlight, Mos has popped back up with new music, surprise performances, and some unexpected collabs. And trust, hip-hop heads are paying attention. First off, Mos Def just linked up with The Alchemist. Yes, The Alchemist, one of the illest producers in the game. Together, they formed a new duo called Forensics, and they're already cooking up something special. If that wasn't enough, Mos Def finally gave fans some solo material for the first time in 5 years. One of the greatest to ever touch a mic, yet the industry never gave him his flowers. Plenty of nominations on both the Grammys and BET, just one win, and that was for his role in The Woodsman.
I saw 20-year vets on that job. Hard guys, man. Just broke down and cried. I was there, I cried.
But let's be real, Mos Def never needed trophies. His albums are still highly sought after, his words still hit different, and his influence untouchable. The awards may have missed him, but the culture never did. And it wasn't just music. He put his voice on the front lines. From speaking out against police brutality, to putting himself through a force-feeding protest, to expose Guantanamo Bay's inhumane treatment of prisoners, Mos Def didn't just rap about justice, he lived it. Unlike most rappers who can't let go of the spotlight, Mos Def walked away from the game on his own terms. That's what makes him a legend, and that legend is currently worth $2.5 million. Though some say he robbed the culture of what could have been one of the greatest hip-hop legacies ever, while others say he did what he had to do for his own peace. Either way, his influence is forever cemented. One thing's for sure, hip-hop will never forget the genius that was Mos Def.